Hello, I am the Dark Fang, and welcome back to Confessions of a First-Time Dungeon Master. As always, if you missed the last session, I'll put a link to it up in the corner. Where am I going? As always, if you missed the last session, I'll put a link to it up in the corner for you over here. You can go check it out, catch up on what you missed, then come back here to find out what happened next. We are now in session 59, so let's begin. Alrighty, so after the group completed their combat in Remure, defeating some nightmare shadowy creatures, they decided to return back to Lovos. So it took about a 2-hour walk with an escort from the Grimknives before they arrived back in the capital city. They decided to meet back up with Kren, who was here this time. Valkyrie, however, could not make it this session, but they meet up with Kren and decide to take a short rest since a few of them are looking rough. But afterwards, with their payment and figuring out a bit of their gold and jewel situation, they decide to go to the blacksmith, Canthal, at the, the Bladed Armory or something like that, to pick up the essentially dragon scale armor that they had ordered way back when. Umric trades his +1 spear and 1,500 gold for 2 armors of resistance, 1 breastplate, 1 scale mail, and they now both have armors of lightning resistance, which is kind of cool. And it's like something that they like made themselves. That these were made from the scales of the dragon eel that they had killed way back in Bulga. Wow, a long time ago. That was before everything with Sinkane happened. Wow. But anyway, so now I feel like without Valkyrie, they're a bit there's a bit less responsibility maybe among the group. So I asked them if there's anything else that they want to do in the day, since like the next day they could feasibly go back to Remure and do more monster hunting or see if Fairney has any work, because their meeting with Asmodeum isn't for another day or so. And they decide that they want to go get into a tavern fight, which I guess is a thing in all cities everywhere all the time, but not really. So in April, like, there's not going to be a tavern that's like made for fighting. Grimknives are not necessarily on like the martial, like gonna beat each other up kind of a side. It's a lot of like trickery rogues, trickery clerics, blade singing wizards, that kind of a thing. So a lot of their, like, what would be like where you can like volunteer to perform or like fight, it's kind of like showing off your skills with the blade, or like more acrobatic-y kind of stuff, more performance based or like showing off based, rather than really like just trying to punch the shit out of each other. So I gave them a couple options. One was, let's see, the Dancer's Stage, which was more of a performance kind of an area, or the Daggers Dance, where Grimknife agents like to go and like show off their blade work and like throw daggers and things, and you can go there and kind of show off and maybe earn a little bit of coin. So that's where they decide to go, and they meet with the proprietor of the place. And eventually they decide that both Kren and Terra are going to step into the so-called ring. The bartender kind of manages to convince some Grimknives to fight Kren. And Terra decides that he wants to try like dodging against the blades of the agents for a minute, aka 10 rounds. So this is where I'm kind of I feel like I'm not that strong as kind of like my improv skills, or like making these things kind of up on the spot, / also something that I kind of realized was personally, like, I thought it was kind of stupid. Like, I like tavern fights and stuff like that, sure, like, totally go for it in the time and place for it. But like, I don't know. I found the session a little bit pointless, maybe. Like, it's their fun and that's totally fine. And like, I'm not like mad that they wanted to do this because I wanted to do what they want to do. But just like, my like feelings as a person who is also playing D&D just in the DM role, I was just kind of like, not really about this. And I think also because I, as the DM, am very focused on like crafting the story and like keep making interesting elements and stuff like that. So I was like, I want them to do that part, but and so then when they like kind of sidetrack and do a random thing, I'm kind of like, oh, I can't do my cool story part that I prepared. Now I have to think on the spot how to do this. So Terra goes first, and so they were like speculating like, oh, these like little Grimknife agents, like it's gonna be like one attack, blah blah blah, or like they're gonna be super weak. Which I mean, Grimknife agents aren't that bad, but I let them choose basically like how many agents they wanted to go up against, and they both chose 3. So Terra steps into the ring first against 3 Grimknife agents, and I kind of fucked up here because I put them at like level 5 or so because he's like a level 9 fighter, although he is only dodging and stuff. His armor class is, I believe, 17, and he has this skill called Defensive Duelist, which is a reaction where he can add, I believe, +3 to his AC for an attack. But it's also, a minute, and like in the process of doing this, I didn't really think it through or like take into account some of these things. I just was kind of drawing off on my past experience, like knowing how hard it is to hit him, especially since he also has the Cloak of Displacement. But they are all rogues. Rogues do have an ability from Tasha's where they can take a bonus action to steady aim, and basically if they don't move, they can cancel out disadvantage and give themselves advantage. So it would be a straight roll. But yeah, I gave them like a +6 to a +7 to hit. I think I should have scaled that down to like a 5, and maybe one guy have a 6, and then probably only give them the 1 attack, because even with 1 attack, 3 Grimknives per round. For 10 rounds, it's 30 attacks, not counting bonus actions if they so take them. So I didn't count bonus actions as an attack because most of the time they were aiming. But yeah, I didn't scale this very well for them, and he kind of got trounced, especially because I rolled really high initiative and they all went before he could, so he didn't get to dodge or anything, and as soon as he took damage, they kind of swarmed him and sneak attack, I think I only did like 2 or 3d6, but yeah, it didn't go well. I felt a bit bad, but I mean, I should have said 2 agents. That probably would have been fair. And yeah, I kind of did the same thing with Kren, although Kren is a barbarian. But I overestimated where they were at a little bit. Let's see. Basil, Imric, Navarre. No, and Kren, I'll bet a little bit of gold. I think Imric bets a 50 GP diamond going for Terra, and then Ivar bets against him. So they lose some coin. Ivar gets a little bit of coin back. And then it's Kren's turn. So Kren going up. I did a similar thing with the Grimknife agents. I think I scaled down one of their hits just a little bit. Like, he's a little bit weaker, but I gave them like around, forget, like 30, 40 HP or so, which again might have been a lot. Maybe it should have been like 30, but I'm really bad at like coming up with these things on the spot, as I've said. So, and I also rolled really good initiative again. Gran rolled, I think, like an 11, so all the rogues went before him, and again were able to do a lot of damage before he got his rage up, and were able to get into like a better position. So yeah, it takes a couple rounds, but Gran goes down. But you know, the whole place is cheering and enthusiastic about seeing like these newcomers come into the place and put on a show. So they do get paid some. I think I gave Terra like 120 gold. I think I gave Kren like 150, something like that. So, but they get paid and call it a night. And yeah, actually with, because it kind of turned into like 2 combats, it was honestly just like me rolling a lot of dice that time. But with that, they finished the day, and the next day I think are kind of planning to do another Ramir monster hunt. But I have some interesting things planned, and I'm kind of excited for Asmodium to return. So we'll see if what they decide to do. They can definitely go on the monster hunt, or they can meet up potentially with Ferdinand and Lady Arelda, who are going to be in Ramir as well. But yeah, so interesting things. They've been talking about whether or not they want to go to the Forest of Rot or stay here and do a little more in Prill. I'm wondering if like this next encounter with Asmodium and everybody, if like that will push them to stay. Because also Valkyrie is not going to be here for a little bit because she is out of town, so it's weird to like go into her story and backstory when she's not here. So I kind of want to do that, you know, when she's present, so she actually gets the experience of it. So maybe this Prill stuff can wrap up and before they do that, hopefully. That's what I'm hoping. But anyways, that is session 59, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for notifications when I put out new videos. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!